all this, man. So let's just get into the schedule. The schedule, man. First, we're gonna start off. The first game of the entire season will be September 7th. I said 7th. September 7th in Kansas City, Missouri. It will be at Arrowhead Stadium. The two-time champion Kansas City Chiefs will be getting their Super Bowl rings on NBC, and they'll be opening up, shockingly, against the most overhyped team to miss the fucking playoffs in NFL history, the Detroit Lions. The Detroit Lions will be trying to crash the party of Patty Mahomes, Travis Kelce, Andy Reid, and all those guys who will be getting their championship rings. I don't think this is a bad matchup. You know, I prefer not to watch the fucking Lions on the first day of the season. It's not just because my full-on hate for the Lions now. And I used to never not hate the Lions. They used to be like the little brother who you just like, you know, you don't pay no attention to. He just doing what he's doing in the corner. Like, you give him like the controller that's not even really plugged up to the video game system, just so he'll sit in the corner and just mind his fucking business. That's what the Lions are. And I'm coming from as a Bears fan. You know the Bears history. We ain't done nothing of any significance since, you know, the 80s. But that's a lot more than what the fucking Detroit Lions have done. They would give their fucking right arm to have the Bears history for the last 30 years. I can tell you that damn much. At least I know what playing in the Super Bowl looks like. At least I know what playing in multiple NFC championship games looks like. These motherfuckers ain't won a division since 1991. I was 3. That's how damn long ago that was. And I will say this about this team. Do I feel they should be the favorites of the division? Yeah, sure. If you want to go that way, I have a problem with you naming them the favorite of the division. With, you know, the Bears still having, you know, we don't know 100% what the Bears are going to look like. There's a lot of excitement because year 3 of Justin Fields. Justin Fields actually has weapons this time. And the biggest thing is the fucking Aaron Rodgers in the division. And that's a great thing for everybody. Great for Bears fans, great thing for Lions fans, great things for Vikings fans. And the Vikings, who are the NFC North defending champions, they lost a lot of people in free agency. So I don't have a problem with them being the favorites in this division. But, you know, starting the season off with them, little much. I personally think they're going to get blown off the map in this first game. But who fucking knows? The first game is a little weird. The first month of the season is really like the glorified preseason anyway. So who knows? It might be more competitive than we think we are. I just say, when you look at guys who've been in the league for a certain amount of time, that's just who they are. If you think I'm sitting up here and falling for the shit that Jared Goff did last year, you got another thing coming. There's a reason why the Rams traded him and instantly won the Super Bowl. Instantly. So I think that'd be, you know, a nice little tune-up matchup for the defending champions. I think it's a good way for Patty Mahomes and Kelce to get back into a rhythm September 7th. So that's going to be the first game of the season. Now, the first Monday Night Football game of the season, there's two primetime games that will be at MetLife Stadium in New Jersey, and that long-ass inch into the way to the entrance of MetLife, which I learned this past year. It's going to start off with the Sunday Night Football game, which will be Cowboys-Giants. And if you love anything about football, you love the NFC East. There is nothing like NFC East rivalry, especially on Twitter. It's a blood feud from all of them, from the Eagles to the Giants to the Commanders to the Cowboys. They all hate each other equally. And this is like, we haven't had the week 1 Giants-Cowboys squabble in a couple of years, man. I used to miss those Eli-Tony Romo matchups where Eli and them boys would win, and Tony Romo would always throw a clutch interception. I forget those days. So the feelings have to be restored. You're going to have Dakota Prescott versus the newly paid Danny Dimes for the first Sunday Night Football game. And then the next night in MetLife, the first Monday Night Football game of the year, and it will be Aaron Rodgers' New York Jets debut. And I can finally watch Aaron Rodgers, who's not 12 anymore, is 8 because of respect for Willie Joe Namath, who's overrated, but we're not here to do that today. Much love and respect to Joe Namath as a player. I don't really know about them stats, whatever. We're not going to do that tonight. But, yeah, he's starting off. I can actually I won't say enjoy, because I can't enjoy somebody who made my life a living hell for 15 years. But I can watch it with a little bit of a sigh of relief. He's not my problem anymore. He's your problem, AFC. So I'm not really worried about that, but this is going to be fun to see him kicking off his Jets career at home against the Buffalo Bills, man. And the Buffalo Bills coming to this season complete opposite of last year. They had all the hype heading to the season opener last year against the Los Angeles Rams. They just completely blew them out of SoFi Stadium on ring night. This is different. That season did not end the way we thought it was going to end. They did not get to the Super Bowl. They didn't even get to the AFC Championship game. Ended in a very crazy way. They lost some big pieces in free agency. This is going to be an interesting year. Kind of a put up or shut up year for the Bills. They're going to be a little more under the radar this year, and I think that'll be good for them. This is the best way to get started, to take out the newcomer in the division. And Josh, I'll let them know, like, yo, since Tom Brady left, this is my block. And I'm not giving this shit up anytime soon. That's why I'm really interested to see in the first Monday Night Football game of the season. Another marquee matchup that is leaked is the Super Bowl rematch, man, between the Kansas City Chiefs and Philadelphia Eagles. It will be week 11 on Monday Night Football. And this is the first time we've had a Super Bowl rematch on Monday Night Football in over 20 years, since ABC, ESPN has been hosting the NFL. So that's going to be real exciting to see that. That was a very entertaining Super Bowl. We know the Eagles are going to want to get their lick back, so that's going to be a very entertaining game. This isn't the game, but it's an announcement. The GOAT, Tom Brady, will be back in Gillette Stadium for the Patriots home openers. He will be honored by the Patriots in the first home game of the season. Now, we don't know if they're going to be honoring him with a statue or a retired jersey. We all know those things will eventually come, even if it's not this. But it will be cool to see Tom Brady go back to Gillette in front of those fans for that game. Now, we don't know which game that is yet. Of course, the schedule will be out in about 45 minutes, so we'll know exactly what date and what week that game will be. Now, let's get to some of the holiday games, man. We just talked about the NFC East, how great that rivalry is. Well, that rivalry is coming to Christmas Day. The defending NFC champion Philadelphia Eagles will be hosting the bitter rival, the New York Giants, in the rematch of this past year's divisional playoff round. So that's going to be fun. I don't know what, of course, obviously we don't know what the NBA schedule is going to look like because we're still in the fucking second round. But I always love Christmas since both leagues kind of united to have as many games as possible. Now, last year's game was kind of tough, mainly because injuries in both leagues. But this should be a good matchup to watch. And for the first time in NFL history, we have a Black Friday game, which will be on Amazon Prime, which Amazon has been doing a lot of big things. They're going to sell you a lot of shit when this game, I can guarantee there's going to be a ticket where, hey, check out the new season of Bosch. You can watch The Boys. Click here. Do you think you need a fucking vacuum? Buy this shit here, nigga. Like, it's probably going to be a lot of them stuff there, especially on Black Friday. They're not low. This is a very great business decision to have Americans watch football on Black Friday just to buy more shit. So this is going to be fun. You're going to be coming off that hangover that you have from Thanksgiving. There's going to be a refrigerator full of leftovers, and what better way to kick that off for that weekend with Aaron Rodgers and the Jets hosting Tua and the Miami Dolphins, man. That's going to be a very entertaining game for the first Black Friday game. And the last holiday game that's been announced so far, of course there's going to be more, is the Chiefs and Bengals rematch of the last two AFC Championship games. It will be New Year's Eve in Kansas City between the Chiefs and the Bengals. Now, let's get to our international schedule. The NFL is really planted their feet in, over in the UK, over in Germany the last couple of years, where they have had a multitude of games. So this year they will have 5. Now, the Chiefs were supposed to play the Bears in Germany, and I was very hyped. I was getting ready to, plan my trip, have some good German beer. Instead, I'm going to be in a fucking hotel in Kansas City for the second time this calendar year. Now, I got some smoke for Kansas City, which I understand from a business perspective, but we're going to get into that later in my Goofy Mog of the Week segment, and that's actually going to be the first ever Goofy Mog roll call. There's a couple people this week who pissed me off, and we're going to talk about that. But let's get into the London games of the international schedule. In week 4, you have the Atlanta Falcons, Desmond Ridder and the Atlanta Falcons playing Trevor Lawrence and the Jacksonville Jaguars. And then in week 5, the Jaguars will be spending 2 weeks, probably 3 weeks, because they're going to practice damn near a month in London, as they will be playing the Bills in week 5. This is very brutal for them travel-wise, but hey, there's more money. More money talks, and I think you're going to see a lot of different extreme schedule changes for NFL players, especially now that NFL teams can be on Thursday Night Football twice this year, which as a fan is awesome. For the sponsors and for the league, it's awesome. For the players, it kind of sucks. But those are two. You have one more London game. That will be week 6. Lamar Jackson and the Baltimore Ravens will be going up against the Tennessee Titans. It's a little stinky game. I'm not waking up at 6 p.m. 6 a.m. Pacific time to watch, him go head to head with, I don't even know who the hell their quarterback is. Is it Ryan Tannehill or Will Levis? If Tannehill's hurt by week 6, that's going to be something that I'm not interested in seeing, but I'm pretty sure the rest of the people there are going to be, just because it's NFL football, they don't have a problem watching it. Now we got 2 Germany games. These are actually, well, at least one of them is entertaining. Chiefs Dolphins, which was supposed to be Chiefs Bears, is now going to be Tyreek Hill's, I guess, return, but it's not really return because they're not in Kansas City. So that should be a nice little game right there, week 9. And then week 10, this game's nasty, but Colts Patriots week 10 in Germany, and that'll be at Frankfurt Stadium. So those are the big games from the overall NFL